One Macon mother still has questions in her son's death after he was jumped 7 years ago. The case went before a grand jury, but it ruled there wasn't enough evidence to convict a killer. The mother tells 41 NBC's Skylar Henry she won't stop fighting in this Middle Georgia cold case until someone's in jail.
Right here's where he went to Macon State. He was going there to get his physical therapist.
There's a certain love a mother has for her only son.
This is Robbie. He was premature, 4 pounds and 6 ounces.
Betty Saxby's boy, Robert, or Robbie, was a star, accomplished, diverse, and a good spirit.
As a mother, you can sometimes over-exaggerate things, but that's just the way he really was.
Robert loved medicine. After his time in the Army, he pursued degrees in the medical field. In fact, that's where this story begins. After a rough day at work, he was looking for a stress reliever. Betty had spoken to him briefly.
I could tell something was bothering him, and he said, "Mama, let me call you later."
So Robert and a friend came here, Polly's Mirage, a small nightclub off Jeffersonville Road in Macon. It was Super Bowl Sunday. As the night crept into the early morning hours, a fight broke out. No idea what could have triggered the brawl, but authorities say it may have been over a domestic situation. Robert was involved.
He said, "Miss Saxby, he's dead," just that bluntly. And I thought I was hearing wrong. I said, "What did you just say?" He said, "Robbie's dead."
An incident report from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office shows Robert's friend telling a deputy a fight broke out inside the club between Robert and 7 or 8 people.
That's a miracle if God let you live.
But Robert was dead.
Oh, I said, "God, please don't let this be true."
But aside from a knot on Robert's head, there weren't any visible injuries. So how did Robert die? An initial autopsy from the county coroner showed Robert died from cardiorespiratory complications or a concussion.
Didn't have fractures, didn't have broken bones, didn't have, broken teeth.
District Attorney George Hardwick, who was then an assistant DA, was assigned to the case. Shortly after the first autopsy, Robert's family had a second one done.
The second autopsy actually caught some things or pointed out some things medically that were not contained in the initial autopsy.
The findings showed Robert died from complications of physical exertion associated with blunt force trauma of the head and neck. It also showed Robert had a history of a sickle cell trait. In rare cases, overexertion can be harmful to someone with the trait.
He was murdered. He didn't just go out there and fall down and die.
Months after the fight, 9 people were arrested, all of them charged with felony murder in connection to Robert's death. As the case started to form and the prosecution began piecing together evidence and witness testimonies, there wasn't much to pinpoint any one person.
And really did everything that we could do to determine whether or not this was in fact, a case that could be criminally prosecuted.
Hardwick says because Robert didn't have any major injuries associated in a fight, and the fact that witnesses who came forward couldn't say who was involved, he thought he had a weak case.
We have to look at a case and look at the facts, look at the evidence.
A grand jury ruled a decision within minutes, saying there was a lack of evidence to convict any of the people who were arrested. A big blow for Betty.
We have gone through all kind of struggles trying to get justice, and we don't have any closure.
It was inside this bar where that Barroom Brawl broke out. Bar is closed, and so is the case. Miss Saxby says that shouldn't be so, and she won't stop until she finds answers.
The justice system here in Macon really let me down.
Not every case that we handle, goes forward to a trial and results in convictions and people going to prison. That's not reality, and that just doesn't happen.
Betty says she hasn't given up. She's written letters, reached out to many people, trying to find a way to bring justice to her only son.
That crime is still alive, and I pray for those people every night that it get on their mind and their conscience to do something about it.
In Macon, Skylar Henry, 41 NBC News.
Anyone with information about the case, call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office at 751-7500. If you want to see other unsolved cases, you can visit 41NBC.com/cold cases.